All right, girls, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joining us this morning is Mike Morse and Croyd's Top 30. Mike Morse is in here to tell us about the backpack giveaway.
Adapt and change things up a little bit every year. We're here on open mic. Very exciting. You guys are in Los Angeles, Skyping into our call. Please introduce both of yourselves for me.
My name is Elizabeth Weber, and I am the current winner of Love Island USA.
And I'm Alexandra Stewart, and I'm the runner-up of Love Island USA.
Number 1 and number 2. Did you guys meet on the show? Obviously, you met on the show?
Yeah, we did.
And became fast friends.
Yes, it's hard not to in there.
Are you guys best friends right now?
Yes, we literally see each other every day. People probably think we're dating.
Okay, well, that could come out of the show. I mean, that's not the worst thing. So,
No, not at all.
you guys live close?
Yeah,
Yep,
10
less
minutes.
than a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in West.
Elizabeth, if you screw up, does Alex get the crown? Is it like the Miss America pageant?
Yeah, I also better get the 50,000.
It's a big scandal. I unfortunately haven't seen any of the episodes. I've been reading about it since I knew you guys were coming on. But it's a pretty big show. I heard they just renewed for a second season.
Yeah, they did. It's going to premiere May 21st.
Yeah,
May 21st.
Now,
Yeah.
are you guys going to have any involvement with the second season?
we hope so.
Yeah, we're hoping so. So we'll see.
That's in negotiations.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
So take us through a typical day on Love Island, which was in Fiji, right?
Yes.
Which I've never been to Fiji. How was it?
Rainy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the villa was on the rainy side of the island, so there was not a ton of sunshine.
Mm-hmm. I think it had a total of 5 days of sunshine?
Yeah.
Where it didn't rain. It rained.
I thought it was like Hawaii, always sunny.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
That's what they told them when they auditioned.
Yeah.
Are they going to do season 2 on Fiji on the same?
The other side
They're
of the
going to do it
island.
on the sunny side so
Yeah.
that they don't have the same problem.
Those girls will be nice and tan at the end of their days. So you guys were on the island for 52 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did my research, and you were quarantined. You didn't have your phones for the entire time.
Mhm.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
For 20 somethings. I mean, that's the longest you've ever been without your phone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
They give you a phone there, but it doesn't work. You can only take pictures on it or get texts about like what something might be happening.
Like on the island.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a decoy phone.
It's a completely hijacked phone. You only have the other islanders' numbers. You can't send outside texts. Usually if you texted another islander, it wouldn't go through.
Yeah.
So
You
Wow.
can take pictures.
yeah,
That's intense.
it is.
Did anybody have withdrawal from the phones? I mean, any type of psychological counseling needed or anything like that?
Honestly, no. And I didn't find myself missing my phone at all, interestingly. Like, I was worried about it going into it, but honestly, at the end of it, we were all like, we don't need our phones back. We're fine. We're all adjusted to living, the island life. But what they did, too, is we had a 2-week period without having your phones where you're in, a lockdown called being, sequestered. And that's how you kind of adjust to not having your phone.
My daughters went to camp for weeks and weeks at a time, and they said their favorite part about it was not having their phones. I mean, did you guys at the end of it miss it, or was it a bummer to get it back? Kinda.
It was definitely a bummer to get it back. I was afraid to turn my phone back on.
Yeah.
I was kind of once I turn it on, it's on
You
again.
can't go back.
Yeah, you're not going back.
Luckily mine died, so
You saying you went into training to learn how to hang out on an island and try and fall in love without a phone?
oh yeah. Full on training, 2 weeks. It's hard.
Yeah.
You just are sitting. You're in the
Workout.
FBI. It's crazy. They're dodging each other because we're all staying at the same hotel, but we're not allowed to see each other. So the people that are we have chaperones. So someone will be on the phone and they're like, we're going down this aisle. You better not go down this in 5 minutes. Wait to turn. It was a full operation.
Yeah.
So you guys grew up watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette, I assume?
Yeah. And I actually have the perfect way to compare the two of them that I like to say. So The Bachelor gives you a very dramatic and romantic feel. And what's different about Love Island is it gives you kind of a lighthearted comedic feel, which is a lot like nicer and more fun to watch, I think, in my opinion.
Also, I don't know if you've heard the narrator, Matthew Hoffman. He's truly like one of the funniest witty people, and basically he talks over most of what's going on. So
he's like the star. He became one of the stars of the show.
Oh my God!
Because he sort of makes fun of the contestants a little bit and makes fun of the show and the whole concept. It was fun to watch. The CBS played this thing on every single night of the week, right? Wasn't it like 5 nights a week?
5 nights a week.
Yeah, it was 5 nights, but so for season 2, it's going to be 6 nights now.
That's a massive commitment. You don't. That just never happens.
Was it like 25 episodes, or how many episodes were there?
I don't know.
There must have been 20.
I thought it went on for 5 weeks, so 5 times 5.
There's no math on the Love Island show.
No calculators.
So,
all right. So there were some episodes. I'm going to have to go back and watch. But so we've heard on some of these shows, a lot of stuff is scripted, and they're telling you what situations to get in and who to talk to. Tell us about this. How true was it? How scripted was it? Were you guys allowed to like who you wanted to like and hook up with who you wanted to hook up, or however it went?
Yeah, of course. We had full reign of whatever we wanted to talk about or do. And I think that's why people almost resonated so much with this season and like loved it, is because you could just tell, like watching it, if you knew anyone on it, like, oh, that is what they would go to, or like, oh, that is what they would say. So
it was pretty tame, honestly. It was a kind of a PG version of Bachelor. I was surprised, with the title and all that stuff. And of course, Elizabeth, I know your father, so we were discussing what this show might look like. But at the end of the day, it was kind of a puppy love kind of show more than this island romance hut hopping thing.
Right, so that like brings me to thinking of, well, the season it's adapted from the British and the UK version of Love Island, which is a lot more raunchy and unfiltered. It has a lot more of, talking about, like swearing and hooking up and all of that. And because the show is aired on CBS, it's toned down a lot more. So it's like very clean cut. And the audience also skews way younger because of that now too, which is, beneficial for us. But then again, people are like, where's the drama? Like, why is this not like the same as the other season with like all the craziness and the swearing? And I think it's because, CBS as a network is very like clean. So they almost casted then more neutralized people.
Yeah. And it was like, everyone was like, you guys really don't fight. And we would get in little tips because of course you're living in a small room with 12 other people. But like me and Elizabeth got in a fight over like a chair being in the way. Like that kind of fights we would get into. Like there was nothing crazy that happened that was just so dramatic.
Well, how do you guys think they did with the casting? I mean, at least Elizabeth, I know you're from Metro Detroit, from down home Midwestern girl. Alex, where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay. So, I mean, how do you think they did with the casting? I mean, how were the other people and how'd you all get along?
So I think that they did an awesome job casting. I think it was a really like diverse cast. People were from all over the country, all different like ages and ethnicities and personalities. But what they did is they picked very like CBS type people, as in like very like wholesome people. And I think that's why there was a lack of drama. So we have been chatting, amongst ourselves, like how interested we are to see this next season's cast. Like, will they be casting more drama oriented people and more people that are going to be stirring the pot?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the way this show worked is they had, I don't know how many of you there were, but say there's 6 women and 6 men, and they tried to couple up, and in some cases they did, in some cases they didn't. And then every week some new guy would pop onto the island to try and entice them away from their other couples. And so it made me curious as I was watching it, if you guys had a strategy going in to try and win, or if you had a strategy to try and fall in love and just see who popped onto the island, or a little bit of both, or what was going on before you got there.
I was just thinking about the first day when we got in there. None of us had any idea about what the like money was going to be, how much you were winning.
They didn't tell us.
They didn't tell us.
Oh.
So when they told us, I think we were all just so excited to be there and like meeting new people that
it went right over everyone's head.
When they said it was $100,000, we all were like, woohoo!
Like,
and they're like, okay, you have to do that again because you guys just looked like you did not care. So it's like, it's interesting because a lot of the people that were on the show, most people were there looking for legitimate relationships.
Okay, they were looking for love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like The Bachelor, don't they get married at the end of The Bachelor, or at least propose at the end of The Bachelor?
But
I've actually never watched that either, but I thought they got married. Now here, the relationship won. So, and we'll get into that in a second, but so you're saying, Alex, that you think most people are on the show for actual true love or a relationship.
Yeah. And I know as shows progress, like where I don't want to keep comparing it to The Bachelor because it's so beyond different.
Yeah.
But as they progress, I know that, you know, they bring in more Instagram people who have a lot of followers, but none of us were famous on Instagram or anything. Like we all genuinely were there to truly look for someone, not to go, you know, find fake.
Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. You're both beautiful. You both had, or at least Elizabeth had a paying job in New York.
Publicist.
And you both had jobs?
Yeah.
And you both quit your jobs to go on an island for 52 days to find a man. And I'm sure there were plenty of men in your respective cities who wanted to, she's covering her mouth because she's laughing, who wanted to date you. So the fact that you were going to go off the grid for 52 days to find a dude, I'm not completely following.
I mean, yeah, I definitely had that concern going into it. Like, where are they going to find somebody that will be willing to, you know, quit their job if it's all that great? You know, like, where's this, like, amazing man going to come from? You know, like, if anyone's, like, that great, are they really going to leave that behind to come do that? And I had that worry. And honestly, I think they picked a pretty good batch of guys. I do wish, looking back, that it skewed maybe older a little bit, or I mean, it was still pretty like young. People still trying to like figure out their lives for the most.
So you want like 50-year-olds on the show? Is that what you're thinking? Because
probably bad, you know.
Elizabeth, you coupled up with Zach. He worked at a grocery store, right? And what did Dylan do, Alex? You coupled up with Dylan. What did Dylan do other than
wait, we had a grocery store clerk? That's not big risk. That's not a big risk, quitting that job and going on a private island for 52 days to meet several beautiful young women. So
versus a publicist and an account executive. I think
I'm still confused. I'm still confused here.
A personal trainer.
So was there any part of this, like I heard you guys both tell me that I'm a lawyer. I don't know if you do that, but these might be tough questions. You went on the show to find a relationship or love, but did any part of you go on the show to become famous, to become Instagram famous, to become YouTube famous, to think that this could set you off on a better career path?
So honestly, I think we were both, you know, everyone probably has in the back of their head, like, if that happens, then it would just be an added bonus to whatever's happening, because not a single person went into that saying like, oh, I'm doing it for that reason, because this was a pilot season. Like, we could have been sent home in the first 3 days. The show could have been canceled. So I feel like no one really had the mindset of like looking for those kind of doors to be able to be opened. So it was like very exciting to come home and see like, oh wow, we do have like this nice fan base and a following that came with that. It was like nothing that we kind of like expect. And, you know, it's a first season, so I was very, you know, we didn't know how it would do.
Either one of you have any regrets for doing it?
No, we want to go back. We make jokes every day.
We'll like send us back.
We're like, we're ready to go back.
We'll stir
Interesting.
it up.
Well, you never know. I mean, with the winner and the runner-up, I feel like there should be a part for you guys.
Right?
Are you guys recruiting the next cast at all? Are you guys helping out in the casting call?
I've sent some people through. I know they're looking at some people for season 2 that I've like recommended, and I think
a few of my friends are on their way.
Yeah, so they haven't finalized anything yet, but they are definitely in the final reviews of looking at people for next season.
So I read an interview this morning of you guys, and the fact that I thought really interesting is you got off the plane. They basically hand you your phone and you had fans running up to you and wanting autographs and photographs. Like, that had to have been completely bizarre.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was.
And after like a 17-hour flight, like we looked terrible, and we're like, oh my god, I can't believe these people want to come near us. Like,
No, I'm not even kidding. I was the most hungover person getting off that plane. And I truly was sitting in a middle seat with like a barf bag the whole way home.
Oh God.
I was walking out of the airport. I was like, no one's going to notice us. I looked like homeless holding the bag in my hand. And all of a sudden I hear all these little girls like, Alex! I was like, no, this is not happening right now.
So you're in coach in the middle. Elizabeth, did they at least put you in first class since you won?
no, but me and Zach did have our own row.
Oh, so you brought up Zach. Let's talk about Zach. So throughout the show, the 25 episodes, how many different guys did you date, for lack of a better word, Elizabeth? I'll point that to you.
I didn't date anyone but him, actually. I
Okay.
stuck with him the whole time, and I think that's what the audience like really loved about watching our relationship, is like neither of us were ever swayed at any point. But there definitely were a lot of suitors that came in, which was nice on both ends.
So you had options, he had options, and you both chose to stay together.
Yeah.
And then the end of the show happens, and America picked the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you won. What was the title? What's the title?
USA winner.
The winner. And you picked.
They're working on that for season 2.
And you
Come on,
picked.
something snappier.
And you got $100,000 check. You're the one who picked it, Elizabeth. You picked it, right?
Yes.
It was out of a random. Was it out of a hat or something like that?
They put two what is it?
Envelopes. Elephants.
That'd be awkward. But in Fiji, maybe you pulled the envelopes out of the elephants' butts.
They handed us the two, and they like would pick one, and he was like, "You can pick." So I picked one, and then he picked one, and then we opened them, and mine had the number on it, and his had 0.
And I heard a rumor that it was your choice to keep the whole $100,000 or split it.
It was, yeah.
And what did you do?
I split it. Yeah. I think we won that together. And I know for a fact that if he had pulled it, he would have split it as well.
You guys talked about it beforehand?
No. Honestly, we didn't discuss that just because it was like a given.
Okay. And so at the end of the show, were you really in love?
Oh yeah, like I thought I was gonna get married. I was like, I
You're
came
planning
home.
a wedding.
Yeah, I came home and I was like, wow, like I'm gonna be married the next year.
So I read some of your posts. It certainly sounded like you felt like you were in love. He was, you were both trying to get to LA. You were going to get separate apartments. What month was this? When did you guys land back in the States?
This was August, end of August. Yeah.
Okay. And he was, what city was he in again?
Chicago.
He was in Chicago. You were in New York.
No, I moved back to Detroit, so I wasn't paying rent while I was on the island.
Smart.
Yeah.
And then take us through what happened.
Keeping the whole $100,000.
So take us through what happened. You got back in August, and what happened to the relationship?
Yeah, you know what? Real world factors started getting mixed in, and I think we didn't realize how much we were really living in a bubble on the island. And, you know, real world is hard. So it definitely put like a lot of stress on the relationship, and, you know, it didn't end up working out, but I like wouldn't give back the experience or anything or redo anything. So. And
when did it officially end?
Maybe like early December.
Okay. So a few months.
Lived.
What did you say? Hold on. What did you say?
Short-lived.
Short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that to happen.
You guys just didn't want to buy each other Christmas presents, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't you mention that the families kind of got to know each other a little bit?
Yeah. We threw like a big welcome home Elizabeth / meet Zach party at my house. It literally looked like a wedding reception. And his family, his mom and sister came to visit. And then his mom came another time too. And they would just stay with us. It was super fun.
Any ongoing relationship with any of his family, or is it all pretty much over?
I have a good relationship with his mom and his sisters, but I feel like it's pretty
separate
now.
So you and him are not still talking. You're not friends anymore, or not friends, but you're not day-to-day friends.
We like tried to work on things for a while, being honest, and like it was just very like pulling teeth. I think it was just trying to force something that just like wasn't going to work as much as maybe we wanted it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you found your way to Los Angeles.
I did.
And so what's going on in LA right now?
Me and Alex are just focusing on the influencer world, our YouTube channels, trying to get our feet in the water for other opportunities with CBS. And yeah, I also have like some modeling contracts on the table. So I'm looking to like sign with an agency out here in the next like week or so. So yeah.
So I want to talk about the influencer world because it's a fascinating world. But Alex, I want to give you an opportunity. When you got off the island, you were second place, runner up. And what was your dude's name?
Like,
Dylan.
don't rub it in.
And are you guys? Did you leave the island as a couple?
Yeah, we did.
And how long did that last?
So, funny story. Once I got off the island, I actually went down to visit him. He lived in San Diego.
Okay.
We were like kind of close in proximity. I ended up breaking my jaw.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of like,
How'd that happen?
hit real fast.
How'd you break your jaw?
I was on a scooter and like one of those electric scooters.
Did Mike mention he's a lawyer?
Did
Yeah.
a car run a red light and hit you?
But yeah, so I mean that kind of injury that early on and
serious
in a relationship, is like I would have never realized it's such a huge thing to take on, especially I don't have any family out here, so he was really the only one that was there for me through the entire process of the surgery.
Like multiple surgeries.
Yeah, like it. So I commend him for that, but I think after that, it kind of just, it takes a really long time to recover from that kind of thing. I mean, I'm still recovering. So, I mean, it didn't work out. And I think that was probably another huge factor that added into it. Just real life problems, like Elizabeth said, that you hit hard and fast that you did not. I mean, they do everything for you on the island. So it's like, you really have no worries except to get to know someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's one couple that's still together though, right? Out of all the couples.
Yes.
Ray and Caro.
So see, one of them made it. One out
of 6. Did all 6 leave with a pair? Everybody was matched up.
Four couples, 8 people left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started dwindling. But Ray and Caro, the news leaked, so I think we're allowed to talk about it now.
I don't know.
Oh, say it. Come on, give us an exclusive.
They're getting married. They got a text.
They're filming The Amazing Race right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So other opportunities are starting to happen for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you guys living very close to each other in West Hollywood. I've watched some of your YouTube channels. I subscribed.
Awesome.
Congratulations on that. I'm now Instagram followers on both of you. So that's exciting. So you guys went from almost no Instagram followers to a couple 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
So that's exciting.
Yeah. I did start with like a smallish following, like 30,000 around there. So I had a little bit of a boost, but definitely like grew significantly in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, correct.
Interesting to see if the accounts grow with like second season coming, with like the show getting more popularity too.
Sure, because they'll show replays of the winners, and but I did notice. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were posting, it looked like modeling pictures before the show.
Yeah.
So were you doing some modeling
for the show too? Yeah, I did some work in New York, but I'm no longer with that agency anymore.
So I've looked because I didn't know Alex was coming on till late in the day today, so I didn't get a full chance to stalk her through the Instagram world. But Elizabeth, your photos are beautiful. And I noticed recently you started posting products. Yeah. And like, I think Oil of Olay and others.
And Princess Palette. Yeah. So that's another thing. We both have been working in, the influencer world with like brand deals and hitting some of these like huge companies. And it's so interesting to see that like, brands are spending money there. But we're also noticing too, like it's not just Instagram where there's money opportunities, but also like YouTube as well. It's like another platform.
TikTok.
Alex has been in TikTok. Yeah, I'm not good at TikTok, but Alex is good at TikTok.
Interesting. I'll have to check out. I have an 11-year-old who's very into TikTok, and you'll like this if you're into TikTok. I was at the All-Star game in Chicago last week, and I'm at the restaurant Tao. It's about 12:30 in the morning, and Charlie and her best friends and sister walked by me in the restaurant, and I said, I recognize them from watching TikToks with my 11-year-old. So I grabbed them and said, girls, can I get a quick picture? Took a quick picture. I'll send it to you, or I'll put it on this video so when you see it. And my 11-year-old thinks I'm the coolest dad ever.
Oh my God. $100,000 for a 15-second video. It's insane.
They're making a lot of money now.
Wait, say that again. They get $100,000 for what?
And for one TikTok, it's like 15 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
There's a lot of money in TikTok.
And she's like 16.
Yep.
50. Yeah, I heard she just cut her hair.
Amazing.
So, I mean, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical. Okay. Let's say you have 200,000 Instagram followers and you post a bikini picture saying, I bought this bikini here, or I love this product. What's that worth? Ballpark.
It also depends on engagement. Like, it wouldn't go necessarily just based on your followers. It would also go through engagement, like how many people are liking this photo, how many people interact with it, impressions, how many people are going to see it. Because what a brand is paying for, they're not really paying for the call to action to purchase the product. They're paying for like exposure, basically. And then another thing is your percentage of following male versus female. So let's say it's a female clothing brand. They're obviously going to pay someone with 80% female versus 10% female based on that follower count as well. So there's like a ton of factors that actually go into it to determine.
So you guys need to be selling Carhartt because you have all male followers.
No, we have all female followers basically.
Yeah.
Luckily. Yeah. And that's an awesome.
What's wrong with these guys?
Yeah.
It's just you, Mike. You're the only follower.
I'm the only male. Of them. All right.
No, before going, my following was mostly male, but now with TV and reality TV, it definitely skews female. But have you heard of Social Blue Book? Nope. It's a website where you can plug in anyone's account and it should tell you what their asking price would be for a photo, like based on their analytics, what on average they should be paid.
Oh,
also, it's like it's very funny because I came from the complete opposite side of, I was a publicist for beauty brands and like mass market brands, but also very like elite salon brands and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting to be on the other side of it now, because I used to be the one reaching out to influencers, asking how much they're going to charge for this and blah, blah, blah. And what was very interesting is that it's kind of shifted now from, now that you can post stories and that kind of stuff, brands are way more interested in doing stories because they reach a larger amount of people than an actual post. Which I think is
and you can add the call to action, like the swipe up link to like directly go, and you can track all of this too.
If you have over 10,000 Instagram followers.
Yes.
I don't have 10. Will you girls help me get 10,000 followers? I mean, no, seriously, like how do you find engagement? Let's say hypothetically you said, hey, at 855 Mike wins, he's a good dude, he's got good content, we were just interviewed. Like, are your followers listening to you? Like, what is your sense? Are they...
Our followers are very loyal, but I would say like anyone that wants to grow a following quickly would have to really look into a deep dive of like what your niche would be. Mm-hmm. And, instead of looking for numbers, look for quality. And then if you hit that like right audience, it will just grow exponentially from there. And Instagram's algorithm favors that kind of stuff too. If you're putting out good content and like high quality post, then Instagram is going to favor that and help your account grow, versus if you're just trying to like grow a following for no reason, they'll actually like hurt your analytics.
So like I've read that you could buy followers. I'm not really sure why you would do that, but that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. It is a thing, but a lot of brands can see that instantly. I think they can like do a vetting process and like snipe that out. Plus you can tell by someone's engagement whether or not their followers are real. If they have like high engagement on their posts, then like they're most likely to be all real. And if they're not getting a ton of likes but have tons of followers, then that's also another like indication that it's
So Elizabeth, you're mostly on Instagram, and Alex, you're bigger on TikTok. Do you find that your personality?
She's
Do
on
you
Insta.
find that you can just be across the board on all of them, on YouTube and Facebook and Snapchat and all of them, or does your personality fit in one better than another?
I would say I definitely fit best with Instagram, but I really, really am trying to push my YouTube channel right now. I like that it's not just a photo. It gives more like personality. It's more like three-dimensional. And I think it's just a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more money in the YouTube space as well. So yeah, I'm trying to like go hand in hand with those two platforms right now.
Are you monetized yet on your YouTube channel?
I am.
So are you guys making a living doing this influencer stuff?
We're close to it. We need to gain a little bit more traction to be able to get there, but
it's also
it's possible. It's just
yeah. I think it's also we're very transparent with what brands we work with, and you know, we're not just working with like China brands will email you 25 times a day saying we'll pay you anything to promote these fake AirPods. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just not doing it. Yeah. And I think that that's something also why we have such high engagement and why people trust us when we do post something that we're, you know, paid to post, but I don't post anything, and I know you pretty much don't at all post stuff that you don't believe in. If
I don't like it, I won't. I won't work with it. Like no energy drinks, no like fitness supplements, like no like weird technology pieces I would never use, like just strange things. Like, so if I had accepted all of those deals, like, yes, you could easily make a living with doing that. But then I also like am, you know, trying to brand myself. And I don't want to just be known for like, you know, being like a sellout and like taking anything. And that's like, same goes for Alex.
Well, how often are you like, Elizabeth, you mentioned that you worked out every day on the island. I'm sure Alex, you did too. Like, is there any gyms, or are you doing like Orange Theory or Barry's Boot Camp? Are you reaching out to any of these places saying, hey, I use your product, let me talk about it on my show and pay me some money?
Yeah, so a lot of gyms are on, like, there's certain apps you can apply for when you're with an agency that will give you like free passes to classes, and you just like post a story or something. And then there's also there's another thing called like Class Pass you can buy, but I do a lot of YouTube workouts as well.
Oh, on your channel?
No, like I watch people's YouTube things, and I just like do it in my apartment.
Got it. Okay. So that you're starting to grow that. I saw that you have almost 10,000 YouTube followers. I watched a few of your videos. I saw you guys sitting in your apartment talking about booger eating and Nick.
That's a one thing.
That's all one video that's like.
Well, it caught my eye.
Boogers are big. Boogers bring in big numbers.
No, I thought it was cute. You guys sitting and talking, and you were doing, you know, would you rather? So you guys, what's your goal? How many videos you want to post?
Ooh, I would love in the next, like, well, this is like long-term goal, maybe like 2 years, year and a half, to try to really push for 100,000 subscribers. Wow. I really like stick with it. I've been working with like a YouTube rep and, you know, trying to like really grow that and gain traction. So we'll see. Yeah.
So you don't do TikTok yet, Elizabeth?
I don't think I will, honestly.
Why? Are you not a good dancer?
No, I'm so bad.
Oh, you don't dance.
I'm looking up. Hold on. I'm looking up Alex's right now. Alex, what's your name?
What's your name?
I mean, on TikTok. What's your TikTok name?
Probably gonna blast something. Yep. Okay. Alexandra Stewart 11.
Alexander.
We've gotten some, like, big views on some of the ones too.
I made
There you are.
one about
624,000 followers. Wow.
Wait.
Well, oh no, that's somebody else. Alexander Stewart.
What?
Alexander Stewart has that many, but there's no 11 on there.
Yeah, there's 11. I don't have that many followers, but I get a lot of views. Like with TikTok, I think it's so funny. Everyone loves it because you can go viral overnight and you don't have to be anybody. Yeah, like I posted a little video.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
All right, I found it.
What is it 11?
Oh, yeah,
Alexander? All right, you'll show me after.
How do I follow you?
I
Do I
think
hit the heart, or do I hit the?
Wait, let
There's
me
a
see
follow
if there's-
button.
There has to be a follow button somewhere.
I'll show 'em
You
after.
should- No, come on. We're going to get you followers. Mike's got a lot of people watching this.
I have
How do we do it?
20,000 YouTube
Do I hit the
followers.
heart? Do I
I
hit
don't know how that happened.
All hearts.
I have,
Um,
I'm going to hit the
that
heart.
was,
Alex
Go
had
ahead.
500,000 views on one of her videos.
I
I
can't
think you have
find
to-
it.
Oh, no, there. The very, all right, the top button.
How do you spell Stewart? Stewart?
Yeah. Are you
I love
spelling
it.
Alexandra right?
It's not coming up.
180,000 likes and 46 followers. We're going to get that number way up today. We're going to
Yeah.
get that number way up on the likes. For sure.
I'm gonna have
All right.
yeah. All my kids are gonna follow.
But I got to watch all these Love Island dudes again. I can't watch any more of that.
So I haven't.
You have to put something new on there.
Is Facebook dead to you guys?
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. It's like
Hate it.
I like to brag.
Yeah.
It's like old people stuff.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Dead though. All right. So my daughter and her friends wanted to know about crazy stuff that happened on the island that didn't make the air. What was like some of the craziest stuff that happened to you guys that the public doesn't know?
So we both made YouTube videos on this too.
Yeah.
They're like pretty lengthy, going through
Okay.
like all the stuff that went down. We even made part 2s to them because people loved them so much. But I would say some of the pinpoint stuff was
A random family walked into the villa one night because
they got to the hotel and the security like didn't see them, so they just walked right in and we're like, hey.
we were like, is this a twist? We have to take care of a family? Like, what's going on?
That's funny.
It was like a dad and his 2 daughters.
Yeah, and they started looking around through all the cameras. They were like, where are we?
Yeah,
It would have been funnier if they were watching the show and they knew who you guys were.
they were.
They
And
were.
they said, is this Love Island USA? And then the girl turned and Cash was standing like next to her and she was like, are you Cash?
All
Oh,
the pictures on their mics were like, code red. And everyone like kept coming in to get them.
that's funny.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
And you
Yep.
mentioned that you worked out every day and they didn't show that.
They did not show me working out like every day. I was
No.
like, come on.
What else did they not show? I'm trying to
We had a
think of
chicken
funny
fight in
ones.
the pool.
Yeah, we were always in the pool, but
Yeah.
they made it look like we were never
Played-
in there.
Cannonball contest,
Mhm.
sharks and minnows, like all categories, all the water games, and none of that was on air. It looked like we never went in the pool. We were
Yeah.
going every day.
And walking around LA, another question was, are you getting recognized all the time? I know you said when you got off the plane, but is it getting worse? Because you're in LA, there's a lot of celebrities in LA. Are
Yeah.
you guys getting stopped a lot?
A lot of celebrities in LA. People in LA don't really care.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
happen as much here as
Yeah.
it does other places.
Yeah, like small towns, people like get so excited,
Mm-hmm.
but not in like big cities as much.
it happens to me a lot in LA if I go to like a concert or where it's like,
Yeah,
a
like high
mass group
density
of people where
or like
yeah.
malls or something.
Mhm.
Once someone points it out, everybody jumps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get recognized at the beach. I was like, this person came out of nowhere and asked for a picture. I was
That's
like,
awkward.
hi. It's like,
And
how
are you-
long have you been watching me for?
Are you guys giving pictures to anybody who wants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to, right?
Yeah, of
course.
course.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's
And
really
and how's the they also want to know about current dating life.
I think we have no comment for that right now.
No comment.
Yeah.
That's fair. No comment is fair. And what else, Kevin?
Have you had to go back, or have you been asked to go back to like your high schools and talk to kids or anything like that? Go back to your hometowns and do anything?
Yeah, so I was going to do that at Seaholm High School where I went, but in the fall, and I actually wanted to do it with Connor Staley from The Bachelor since we were in the same graduating class and he made it to like the top 4 of his season. So we were going to do something together, but our times never aligned when we were in town. So it just never worked out, but we did want to do that at one point.
Mhm. And I went to an all-girls Catholic school, so I get messages every day saying, "Can you come visit?" I'm like, maybe if I get back there at some point.
I'm sure the nuns would love to hear the stories.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they loved watching me like sleep in a bed with a man I didn't know.
That's funny.
Alex, you don't have your ashes on yet for Ash Wednesday. Don't forget.
Oh, they'd be mad at me.
I think she forgot.
It's early there.
No one asked.
Yeah.
Do they do punchkis out in LA? I don't think they do. Do they, Kevin? Do you
No,
remember
I
what
think
they?
that's
No
Detroit.
I think
No.
that's the right thing.
I think it's a Detroit thing. How often are you coming back home?
Never. Hopefully Thanksgiving is when I'll be home.
Oh, that's a long time.
Elizabeth, I see your grandparents at church every week. And, they update me on you almost every week. I get weekly Elizabeth updates at St.
Amazing.
They're great, though. They're really great.
So Kevin, get the scoop about the dating life since they won't tell us.
I know
on the show.
Yeah, I'll update it on the open mic update. I'll find out from Grandma and Grandpa what the dating scene is
next week.
There's not much to tell for right now, but maybe come summer or something. Right now we're like all career focused, but
you guys, I mean, Love Island is coming, right? They're doing the casting calls, so if you're going to have a part, something's going to happen soon. They're going to do something for you. They have to.
Oh, I want to go back. I'm like, Love Island, take me. I'll do anything. But they're doing a casting call next week. I'll actually be in Orlando. We're hosting one down there, so they're definitely still looking for people. It's not like they've ruled anything out. I know that on reality shows they have characters to fill. They, if you're a redhead that is really fiery, maybe go to a casting call because they might be looking for that.
Yeah, they found people last minute for last season.
For sure.
Too. Yeah.
Is there going to be? Did one of you mention a reunion thing?
We did a reunion.
Oh, you already did it.
Mm-hmm.
And was that awkward, or how'd that go?
It was awkward.
I love your honesty.
I think it was awkward.
I love it.
Apparently
it was awkward. It was awkward.
It was just weird all around.
I think even when it was awkward from the minute I walked in, my pictures with Zach with the people taking our photos. It wasn't even just with Zach. It was me, Zach, and Yeaman.
Yeah. It was just.
Well, I could get it. I get it because I read your posts this morning about you two, and they're still up there for everybody to see. And my 17-year-old daughter's best friend said they broke up. I said, no, they didn't. I read about it this morning. They didn't break up. She's like, oh no, they broke up. I'm like, all right, I got to do some more research on this. But I mean, you were pretty outgoing with your emotions and with how you felt, and for all the world to see. What advice would you have for some of the new girls or guys going on next season?
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing. You definitely have to make yourself vulnerable if it is, something you want to try to find. But my advice would be, bring your personality, bring your energy, just be yourself and have fun with it.
You too, Alex, you feel the same?
Yeah, I think that also when it's definitely intimidating when you're going into these interviews with all of these producers sitting there. I mean, it's like you're basically going into an audition if you were an actor. And I think a lot of people psych themselves out and they try to put on this front of who they're really not. And the number one thing is that producers, they're trained to see that. They see right through it. Mm-hmm. And so I think, like Elizabeth said, be yourself 100%. If you're the most extra person, just be that. Yeah. So I think that's number one.
What about going from basically unknown to suddenly famous? I mean, do you have a lot of people coming at you trying to say, hey, we'll make you rich, or we'll make you famous, or we'll do this for you or do that for you? Because it is odd to suddenly have millions of people watching you 5 days a week on CBS.
When you say that, I think of all of the creepy older foreign men in my DMs that are
the dinosaurs.
The Prince of Arabia promising me his land and his estate.
I think he has a lot of land. No, didn't somebody one of the girls told me you had a stalker? Is that true?
I didn't have a stalker, but I did have a person that was very saddened when things ended, and he tattooed my Instagram handle down his leg when I was gone, hoping that I came back.
That's fabulous. Do you have a picture? Did they send you a picture of it?
I did see a picture. It has since been covered up since he has a new girlfree now.
I think that counts as a stalker, Elizabeth. I'm not sure what you need for a stalker stance.
Free publicity, yeah, branding.
Wow. I'll pay somebody to put 855 Mike Wins on their something forehead. That's wild. Wow. I haven't heard that one in a while. Well, listen, you girls are both fabulous. We wish you the best of luck. We're going to promote you, and I hope people follow and watch your videos. Amazing. And I hope you guys find much success out there in Los Angeles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being on. And Elizabeth, if you ever make it back to Michigan, we'll have you live here in the studio. Awesome. And Alex, you're welcome too if you come to Detroit. It's fabulous here. You'll love the Thanksgiving, I promise.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And Elizabeth's family has big parties every time she comes home.
I know. I
Wow.
need to go to one. I know Sue's the queen of parties.
I want to be invited to the next one.
Yes, everyone can come.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you.